Hello everyone, thanks for coming to this video. In this video, we would like to share to you guys about haiku. So basically, haiku is a poem, but it's from Japan. It also has a different form from any poem in the world. Do you guys has any wonder how it is? Without any further ado, let's check it out. The definition of haiku. What are haiku? In Japanese, hai means unusual and ku means verse or stroke. So, haiku are literally unusual verses. Haiku is a short poem that has 3 stanzas consisting of 17 syllables, where the first stanza consists of 5 syllables, the second stanza has 7 syllables, and the third stanza has 5 syllables. In addition, the haiku structure does not have rhymes or rhythm, so it is mandatory to use kigo and kireji. Kigo is a word that symbolizes season, nature, or a marker of time, while kireji is a liaison or cutting word that usually appears at the end of a sound phrase. A good haiku can use kanji with feeling sentences, which symbolizes the feelings of the poet because haiku does not have a title like other poetry. The history of haiku. The haiku first emerged in Japanese literature during the 17th century as a terse reaction to elaborate poetic traditions, though it did not become known by the name haiku until the 19th century. The term haiku is derived from the first element of the word haikai, a humorous form of renga or link verse poem, and the second element of the word hoku, the initial stanza of a renga. The hoku, which set the tone of a renga, had to mention in its 3 lines such subject as the season, time of day, and the dominant features of the landscape, making it almost an independent poem. The hoku, often interchangeably called haikai, became known as the haiku late in the 19th century, when it was entirely divested of its original function of opening a sequence of verse. Today, the term haiku is used to describe all poems that use the 3-line, 17-syllable structure, even the earlier hoku. Originally, the haiku form was restricted in subject matter to an objective description of nature, suggestive of one of the seasons, evoking a definite, though unstated, emotional response. The form gained distinction early in the Tokugawa period, from 1603 until 1867, when the great master Basho elevated the hoku to a highly refined and conscious art. He began writing what was considered this new style of poetry in the 1670s while he was in Edo, now Tokyo. Among his earliest haiku is Basho subsequently traveled throughout Japan, and his experience became the subject of his verse. His haiku were accessible to a wide cross-section of Japanese society, and these poems' broad appeal helped to establish the form as the most popular form in Japanese poetry. Here are some examples of haiku from our choice.
Yuku haruya, torinaki uono, me wa namida. Spring is passing, the birds cry, and the fish's eyes are with tears. Matsuo Basho, the narrow road to the deep north, meaning spring is passing after means an eternal parting. The birds and the pieces mean Basho and his friends.
Mono ieba kuchibiru samushi aki no kazu. Matsuo basho. When you say something, the leaf feel cold, the autumn point. The meaning is, the haiku poem expresses about that people told a bad mouth about someone. It is a rare poetry with self-discipline by Basho.
Kare edani, karasu no tomarikeri, aki no kore. Withered branch, crows perch autumn's evening. Matsuo basho, meaning convey that the reader must be enthusiastic in living life without any sadness.
Harukaze ya ushi ni hikarete zenkochi. In English is the spring breeze being pulled by a cow to the Zenkochi temple by Kobayashi Isa. The haiku meaning is from the Japanese traditional legend. An old woman who had no faith found herself in Zenkochi while chasing the cow that hung the dried cloth of the horn. As a result, he began to believe Buddhism deeply.
Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like or a comment down below, and please share if you think this video is interesting. Goodbye.